What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I have a badass scooter video coming to you. Something I never done before. I never did a scooter video before, but this one's different. This one's unique. As you guys know, I film things that catch my eye, that I think are cool and fun, and this scooter here is badass. So this is called the VARLA Eagle One. And this is not like any scooter you've ever seen. This thing is a beast. It's big. It's made for adults. It's definitely not made for little kids, because you can get hurt on this thing. No joke. This thing can go really fast. Advertised top speed is 40 miles per hour. And my best on flat ground was about 36, 37 miles per hour. And then I hit 40 miles per hour going downhill. Here we go. 30, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Oh, crap. Oh. Woo. Yeah. Holy crap. I think it was 40. It was either 39 or 40 downhill. That was pretty awesome. Now, I'll be quite honest. That's crazy fast. That's actually too fast, because I was more focused on just trying to stay alive and not crashing. So, I mean, that was just too fast for me. I had more fun at the 20 and 30 mile per hour range, to be quite honest. But yeah, this thing is insane. The thing that catches your eye right away is that this thing is big, and it has a really cool dual suspension right there. That's the first thing that you see. You're like, what is going on up front? I don't know what that style's called, but it's pretty cool. You got a swing arm like on a dirt bike with a adjustable coil shock, and you have 10-inch wheels. Those are tubed 10-inch street tires, and you got the same setup in the back with a swing arm just like a dirt bike. And it attaches to a metal kick plate right there. You do have some fenders, some plastic fenders. So as you can see, I do have mud on this thing because I was riding through some water and some mud. I don't recommend that for any electric vehicle, but this thing is IP54 rated, whatever that means. What it tells me is there is some type of water splash protection on this electronic vehicle, so not too worried about splashes of water on this thing. Just don't go riding in the rain. Then the second thing that catches your eye are the 1,000 watt motors. So in the front, you got a 1,000 watt motor, and in the rear, you have a 1,000 watt motor. And those things are crazy powerful because it has a 52 volt, 18.2 amp hour lithium ion battery pack underneath the deck. That's a lot of power for a scooter. Now, there are bigger and badder scooters out there. They go faster and they're bigger and they have like dirt bike forks and stuff like that, but they also cost a whole lot more. You know, those are going to be $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. This is in the $1,500 range, so you get a lot of power and performance with your $1,500 bucks. They also advertise that the peak power output is 3,200 watts, and they're controlled by two 25 amp speed controllers. So the next thing that I think is pretty awesome is that this scooter comes with hydraulic disc brakes. They're Zoom branded. They are dual piston, meaning there's a piston on each side of that disc. And you got the same thing in the back. And if you've been following this scooter, you probably know that the first generation of these, I think it was like maybe last year, they came with mechanical disc brakes, which work. I mean, they will stop you, but when you start riding this thing aggressively and start going downhill and riding it for a long time, those brakes heat up. Those mechanical disc brakes, they start to not grip as good as they normally do when you first start off, because they're getting hot and they just require a lot of leverage. So you probably have to use 3 or 4 fingers to get the same stopping power as hydraulic disc brakes that you only need one finger. When you're going 35 miles an hour, 40 miles an hour, you're going to appreciate being able to stop this thing. Just make sure you know which one's the rear and which one's the front, because if you grip the front tire at 35 miles an hour, you will fly over the front. Oh shit, oh shit. Whew. All right, so that's how easy it is to bail from this thing. Very easy to bail. You just jump off and ghost ride this thing. They advertise the range of this setup to be 40 miles on eco mode. So if you put this thing on one motor, on eco mode, on level 1, you could technically ride this thing for 40 miles. In my experience, I got an easy 20 miles going balls to the wall. So that's pretty awesome. 20 miles going, 35 miles an hour. That's pretty good for a scooter. That's actually really good for a scooter. What's cool about this scooter compared to others is that, for one, the entire steering, the stem, the handlebars, all that, you just undo these clamps here and the whole thing folds down for transport. Just undo these double clamps right here, and then you lift it up and comes down just like that. And this thing weighs roughly, I think they said about 70 pounds. So it's not light, but most people who can ride these things can pick up 70 pounds. And there are some aftermarket parts you can buy on the VARLA website, where there's like an attachment to lock your handlebars to the back here, and then I guess you can carry it like this, which is kind of nice. You can also buy other accessories too on the website. And there's a look at the pivot point of your steering stem. Steel parts in here, nice and beefy. A head tube like on a mountain bike. Nice and big beefy steel parts. You definitely don't want those to break when you're going almost 40 miles per hour, right? All right, so to put it back up, just lift it up like that and drop that down, and then tightening the bolt here a little bit more, and then go back to the clamp again. You'll get it nice and tight. There we go. That is not coming out. Nice and sturdy. Should give you some confidence when you're doing 35 down the road. So the stem is essentially like a mountain bike stem. It's just really long. It comes up like on a mountain bike. You have a top cap. You have the stem with two pinch bolts, and then 4 bolts here on a traditional bicycle style setup there. So that's pretty nice. And that's cool because if you wanted to swap this stem out for something more, aftermarket and high speed, low drag, you can do that. If you want to swap out the handlebars to something wider, because these are pretty narrow, you could do that. Some of those other scooters, you can't do that. They're proprietary to those scooters, so that's kind of nice. The grips are lock-on grips, just like on a mountain bike. They have little vent holes to keep your hands cool, and there's some palm swells to spread out that shock when you're holding this with the death grip. Your hands don't get numb. On the right side, you'll notice right away it has an ignition like on a motorcycle. It comes with 2 keys, and you do have to leave a key in the ignition when you ride it. Turn it on. It has a voltmeter right there. I don't know if you guys can see. 53.2 volts. To turn it on, up here on the gauge cluster, you have a power button. You just hold it down for 1 or 2 seconds, and you'll see it kick on. On the bottom, it's just like most gauge clusters. You have a battery with 5 bars. You have an odometer telling you how many miles that you've ridden, and then above that, big bold numbers telling you miles per hour. You can probably set that to kilometers in the settings. And then at the very top, you have the gears. There's 1, 2, and 3. Matter of fact, let me show you that. 1, 2, and 3. Let's go back to 1. And then you can go into the settings and adjust all kinds of cool things, like how much sensitivity the throttle is. As you can see, the throttle is just a trigger throttle. It's not like on a mountain bike. This thing is actuated with a trigger. Takes a little getting used to, but once you get used to it, it actually is pretty intuitive. Works really well. And you can adjust the sensitivity of that trigger in the settings, which is kind of cool. This thing also has regenerative braking, so that's kind of nice. When you're going downhill, you let off the gas, the motors in the wheels will start sending energy back into the battery, and you can adjust how strong the regen is in the settings. That's kind of high end. I mean, I know a lot of e-bikes that don't do that. It's kind of crazy that the scooter does that. It also has headlights and tail lights, or brake lights. So if you hold the mode button down just for a few seconds, you'll see what looks like a blue headlight right there, and that means your headlights are on. They're just small LED lights at the base of the deck, and they're just enough to get the job done. They'll light up the trail or the sidewalk if you get caught after dark. It has red running lights for safety. People can see you from pretty far away, and when you hit the brake, they flash. So over here on the left side of the handlebars, these are your selector buttons. The red button says single and dual. That's how you adjust the motors. So right now I have it set up for both motors, which is the pushed in position. If I click it out, it'll go to just one motor, which is the rear motor. On the left side, you have eco and turbo. Right now it's on turbo, which is the out position. If I push it in, that'll put it on eco, which will give me more range. When you hit those buttons, there's no indicator on the gauge cluster of what position you're in. And then over here, they give you a bell. So the deck is nice and wide. I'm not sure how wide this is, but it's probably, I don't know, 10 inches wide maybe. And then the grip tape here can be removed. You just peel that off if you don't like the skull. And they actually give you a couple options, so you can put your own. Or you can just go buy your own grip tape and cut it out and put your own pattern on there, whatever you want. And they actually do sell a seat for 139 bucks on the VARLA website. So you peel up that sandpaper there, and you can mount an actual seat. It comes with a little kickstand. And lastly, charging the batteries. So if you look right here on the right side, you'll see two ports. If you use the charger that it comes with, just one charger, it'll take about 8 to 9 hours, basically overnight, to charge this from dead all the way to full. But it's kind of cool that they gave you the option to plug in a second charger. You could actually buy a second charger and plug them both in, and with two chargers, this will fill up and charge from dead in about 4 to 5 hours, according to the website. So that's actually pretty cool. Again, there's a lot of e-bikes that don't even do that, so it's cool to see a scooter do that. And in case you're wondering, the Eagle One comes with a 2-year warranty, which is pretty good. Its competitors either don't come with a warranty at all or only come with a 1-year warranty. So obviously I love this beast. It's pretty awesome, lots of fun. The only things I can criticize is that the tires aren't knobbies right out of the box. I wish they shipped with knobby tires, since they do advertise it as being an off-road scooter. So that'd be nice. And this kick plate here, this metal kick plate, that's awesome. If you notice when you're riding, you got to put your back foot here to kind of keep you from flying off, because this thing takes off like a rocket ship. But I wish there was like an aftermarket upgrade where you can make this thing bigger. So like if you could just come back here more and make this bigger, that'd be really cool for guys that, you know, just need a little bit more room. So if they don't want to make the scooter longer, they could at least, you know, have an aftermarket part that comes out here to stand on, which would be kind of nice. All right, guys, there you have it. That is my review of the VARLA Eagle One dual suspension 1000 watt scooter for adults. This thing's pretty badass. I think this is going to appeal to people who want something different, something unique, like a conversation piece, but also for like commuters. I can imagine if you lived in a small apartment, you don't have room for a mountain bike. This thing doesn't take up much space, especially when you fold it down. campsites. If you have it in a camper, you know, again, this doesn't take up much space, so you can put this in a camper but still have mobility when you get to the campsite. For overlanders, again, for exploring beyond the campsite, nice and compact. You put some knobby tires on here and this thing can really extend your exploring capabilities in a really compact package. So pretty cool. And of course, you know, students who just want to go from the dorms to school, or people who just live in a big city like, you know, LA, New York, Miami, or whatever, Dallas, and you don't want to drive a car in the city. This thing is super skinny and nimble. I mean, you can fit through any traffic on this thing, and 35-40 miles per hour, you're probably going to go faster than the people stuck in the traffic. And another group of people that might like this vehicle are my preppers. Canadian Prepper, he likes EVs. If you ever watch Canadian Prepper, think about it. This thing is super compact with the handlebars folded down. You could put this in the back of a pickup truck, not take up much space. Put it in the back of an SUV. You don't need a bike rack for this thing. Very compact and relatively lightweight. And then when you want to scoot around and sneak around, either urban environment or even out in the country, backcountry, put on those knobby wheels and you can move around completely silent. This thing is very quiet, so nobody's going to know you're moving around at 40 miles an hour, you know, from corner to corner, street to street, or through the backcountry. And also it's EV, it's electric, so you don't have to worry about maintaining or finding fuel. So gasoline or diesel, you don't have to worry about that. Just drive this thing for 30-40 miles. When it runs out, take it back to your campsite, and hopefully you have some type of power bank like a Jackery 1000 like I have with the 200-watt solar panels. You'll always be able to have silent transportation. So I think this thing does have some practical uses for sure. If you guys want to buy one of these and you're kind of, you know, weary about paying $1,500 for a scooter like this, that's a lot of money. There is a PayPal credit system on the VARLA website, so just apply on there. I don't know all the details, but you can apply for a it's like 6 installments, and I think that comes out to, I don't know, roughly, I don't know if it's like $250 or $260 times 6. So that's not bad. And if you guys really want to support the channel, I'll put an affiliate link below the video, so you guys can purchase this right through this video. I am an affiliate with VARLA, so you'll be supporting my channel, which I do appreciate. If you got any kind of knowledge or entertainment out of this video, and you buy the scooter, or you want to buy the scooter, please use my link. It does support my channel. All right, guys, hit that like button to support my channel. I appreciate it. Helps me out a lot. Ring the bell to be notified when I upload new videos, because you never know what I'm going to upload. And leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think about the VARLA Eagle One dual suspension, dual 1000 watt 52 volt electric scooter for adults. What do you think about this thing? Would you buy one? And if you did buy one, where would you ride it? Let's talk about it in the comments below. All right, guys, go out there and have some fun. Take care.